welcome back to our last episode of this year for the Taft Heritage Show. I'm your host, Hannah Morris, and today we're interviewing a senior who has truly made a name for herself in diving. She's been dominating at the pool and has earned multiple Valley championships. Please help me welcome Rylie Pendergrass. So, Rylie, tell us a little bit about yourself. What have you been involved in, like, during your time here at the high school? Like, any clubs? I know you're in oil tech. Any leadership roles?
So, my freshman year, I actually went out to be one of the officers for freshman class. I went for VP, didn't get it, but I still tried to stay somewhat in a leadership role. I joined Human Element my freshman year. But sophomore year got a little busy, so I stepped away from Human Element. I ran for Spirit Commissioner for ASB. I got that. So I was Spirit Commissioner my sophomore year. Joined Oil Tech, so I've been in Oil Tech for all 3 years. I hold a position in Oil Tech. Last year, I was the treasurer for the AADE, which is the American Association of Drilling Engineers. That's like our student chapters, so it's our leadership inside Oil Tech. I was the treasurer there. This year, I was the governmental affairs officer in Oil Tech, so that was really fun. And this year, I joined S Club as well. But yeah, I've just really been involved in ASB. Last year, I was the athletics commissioner in ASB, and this year, I was the activities commissioner.
That's great. So where did you attend school before coming to TUHS?
So I went to this little small school in Bakersfield. It was called Rio Bravo Elementary, so that was from TK all the way to 4th grade, and then we had a middle school with it, RBG, which was Rio Bravo Greeley. So I went there from 5th to 8th grade, so out of the entire thing, because they're both connected, I was there from TK all the way to 8th grade, and then I came out here.
That's great. So your father's Mr. Pendergrass, yeah.
Yeah.
So did he teach at a different academy before coming to Oil Tech?
Yeah, he actually started an academy here at Taft High before he took over Oil Technology Academy. It was the ACE program, so it was, it was like architecture, construction, and engineering. So he ran that, and it was kind of like Oil Tech, but it focused a lot with like wood shop and construction. So he did that here at Taft High before he went over and
so like vocational programs.
Yeah. He did that a lot. He did that at Arvin because his first teaching job he was at Arvin High School. And he did, like, an academy like that, but he was mostly a woodshop teacher. Like, everywhere besides here, he was a woodshop teacher.
You're a great diver, but did you ever try any other sports? Like, I guess not just in high school, but ever.
So I was actually funny. I was a gymnast from when I was about 3 to when I was 11.
Oh, wow.
So I started doing competitive gym when I was 6 years old. So I was used to competition. I started it at a young age. That's literally what made me be me that I am today because of just those years in gym. I loved gym. Like I liked to climb on everything when I was little. I climbed on so much stuff. So my parents were like, hey, let's put her in gym. Yeah. So I started going into gym, loved it, and I just wanted to change the scenery when I was 11. Started diving. One summer I did gym and diving, but I really loved diving more because it was something new. And I thought I kind of had a FOMO. I thought I was missing out on so much stuff. So I kind of regret quitting gym as early as I did. I wish I stayed in a little bit longer. But during my middle school years, I did volleyball and I did 1 year of basketball. I hated it. But
Why'd you hate it?
I just was not good.
Yeah.
I was not good at it.
Yeah.
I hated it. But then 8th grade year, I did like the stats for our basketball team in middle school. So that was fun, but I also did competitive cheer. I didn't like that at all. The people there were not very nice to me.
Yeah, the people really make like your experience. Yeah.
They were I was at the same place that I did gymnastics, so I saw all my friends doing gymnastics, and I was like, I'm over here just like, I don't like it. But did that for a year, decided not to do it anymore, and then I just started focusing on diving.
Focusing on diving. What drew you to diving in the first place?
It was really gymnastics. Gymnastics was, I had actually done diving. There was like one year I did like a rec diving during the summer, and I was really good at it. I really liked it, but there was like this one dive that I could not do. I was so afraid of it. But I kind of stopped that, and then once I quit gym, like that summer that I quit gym, my mom's like, you need to try diving. Like, you can flip and everything. It's kind of like the same, because the transition from gymnastics to diving is really easy. Like, if you're a
It's
gymnast,
basically just gymnastics with water. Yeah.
so like gymnasts have a really easy time like converting over. So I did that, and I just been doing it ever since. I love it.
How has diving helped you grow mentally in like becoming a leader and a captain of your team?
So it's been a lot. I've been in a lot of, it was like a whirlwind with me. When I first started competing here at Taft High my freshman year, I was afraid of doing anything new, because it was like I didn't know what was going to happen. I was afraid of smacking, and then just randomly one day I was like, you know what? You just gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta get it over with, because if you want to learn, you're gonna have to do it. So I did this. I always call it, well, I don't call it. It was this thing that really helped me. We had these like books at home that was like Fearless Athletes. So it was like a 14-day trial. So you would write like every day, because it was, Fearless Athletes. So it helped me get over my fear of smacking. So I trained myself mentally, like with those books and that, just getting over that fear. Like, you're going to have to smack eventually. And yes, it's going to hurt, but you're going to be better.
And then smacking is like when you do a belly flop. Yeah.
Yeah, or back flop, or side flop.
Ow.
Yeah, I've done it all. But it really opened my eyes to show, like, I can do anything I want. Like, I set my mind to, and I've carried that lesson from freshman year till now. Like, if I have bad meet, I know I can just chalk it away. You have a next dive to do. Like, it's really helped me be more resilient with my diving, and not just diving, but in everyday life.
Yeah, it definitely carries over. How are you scoring in diving? What do the judges look for at a meet? And then, like, how do you prepare yourself for when you're on the diving board?
So there's a lot of things, because we have 5 judges. Some judges kind of varies between certain judges. Some judges are pickier than others. You want to be close to the board, but not too close, because you don't want to get hit. You don't want to hit the board, because if you hit the board, then you get points deducted. It's crazy. You want to go high on when you jump. You don't want your chest to be forward, because when your chest is forward, you shoot out. You're not going to get near as good points. Pointed toes. I always like to smile at my judges. Every time I get on the board, I always smile at my judges, so they know that I know who they are, and that I'm ready to do my dive. I always like to think that they score me higher when I do that, because I'm nice.
Yeah.
But I always make it a point to look at all my judges, make sure they're looking at me. I smile at the referee, and I kind of just tune everything out when I'm on the board, because me personally, I'm not a fan of looking at judges, because it really scares me. I always like to be on a board that's farthest away from the judge, so I can't see them in my peripheral. But yeah, I've always been a performer, so I love when people watch me.
Yeah.
Just all those years in gymnastics, just being able to show people, like, hey, this is what I can do. Like, I love performing, so being able to do that, like, judges look for that confidence. Judges look that, hey, you know what you're doing. But it kind of just varies from judge to judge.
So, like, diving, it's kind of become like an emotional, or like just an outlet for you?
Diving has definitely been an escape for me. Being the new kid at school, it's always been kind of hard fitting in, making friends, and that diving was the only thing that was constant and was always there for me. When I had a bad day, I dove. And I was able to learn to keep the outside forces outside of the gate. When I step inside the pool deck, that's when it's diving. It's just me and the board, and diving has always been an escape for me.
That's great. I'm glad you could turn to that.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite meet, and what makes a meet enjoyable for you?
Ooh, I have so many favorite meets. Do you want high school or do you want club?
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
For high school, I'll say for high school, shoot, I have so many. There's one meet that I always remember. It's not one of my favorite, but it's one that I've been most memorable. Was sophomore year. I was up in Clovis. We had our Clovis West invite. It was freezing cold. I always remember it was freezing cold. We had 6 a.m. warm-ups.
Oh.
Meet started at 8 o'clock. It was freezing. And, you know, I always remember I was like, man, I don't know. Like, the first time I ever did Clovis West was freshman year, and I had a mental breakdown. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. These are way too good of girls. Managed to do really, really well in that. I ended up 5th place out of all the Clovis divers, which was a huge accomplishment for me. But sophomore year, I was just like, let's see what happens. I mean, because I had already qualified for Valley the meet before that at Taft Invite. So I was just like, oh, I'm just going to have fun, whatever. One of the girls that I've always wanted to beat her because she's just amazing. She actually had a really bad meet that day. She failed a dive. Didn't really know what place I was going to get because I was just like, okay, cool. I was doing really, really well. And afterwards, I don't look at scores like when I dive. That's just not something because I don't like getting in my head. I was just done and I knew I was up there. And my parents came over and they're like, you just won Clovis West. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Was not expecting that in the least bit. So that was definitely one of my most memorable, but I think my favorite meet was this year's Valley. It was just my last time being able to compete. Kind of went out with a bang. I ended up actually breaking my record that I broke the previous week there.
Wow.
Broke it again. It was a really emotional meet for me just because it was my last one and I just wanted to do good, and I did. I nailed every single dive that I did, and it was such an amazing meet for me. That was my favorite, probably by far my favorite meet at a high school level. But club, I do a lot of meets. Club, last year it was AAU Nationals. That's like, there's USA Diving and then AAU Nationals, which is just it's like, I guess more fun. It's not like as scary as USA Diving. So I did that, and it was at my home club pool, and that was just my favorite meet because it was so fun. I had all my girls there. And I set a goal for myself that I would make finals for 1 meter, but I did make it. And then I was like, I don't really know. I don't really want to do 3 meter, but I ended up doing it, and I actually made finals, and that shocked me. But yeah, that meet was so fun as club-wise, just because I had all my girls there.
Yeah, that's great. Like I said earlier, like the people on your team really make your experience.
They do.
Yeah. How competitive are state championship meets compared to other meets?
Ooh.
And what place did you achieve this year?
That's a touchy subject for me. This year it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. I didn't make the final cut, which I was kind of sad about, which I was bummed. But it just wasn't my meet. Those girls there, a lot of the state girls I know because they're in club. And they like to be, I would like to say the judges are a little biased because they know, because when you go to state meets, they're neutral. They're supposed to be neutral. But a lot of them are club judges, club coaches. So they know the girls. It's definitely very, very competitive. State is one of the most competitive things to compete at. Especially in California, the 3 biggest diving states are California, Texas, and Florida.
Wow.
It's extremely hard just to make cuts and everything. So I was super proud of myself for making the cut. It just wasn't my meet. I wasn't on it. I had just a lot of personal stuff floating around just on just the weight of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't really thinking about it because I wasn't in my head. It just wasn't the right meet for me. But last year I made all final cuts and I got 12th, which I was super proud of. Still to this day, that was one of my most proudest moments with diving was I made the cut. But this year it was just, I was ready to be done. Now I have other things that I get to focus on, and I'm super excited.
So what lessons have you learned from every state meet you went to?
So, first time I ever went to state was sophomore year. I learned then I needed to up my degree of difficulty, so that's like your overall like diving, because dives have a degree of difficulty, like how hard are they to do.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to up it for junior year, so I did. I focused a lot that season just getting new dives, being able to compete, getting harder dives, so I did. I had a huge jump in my degree of difficulty sophomore to junior year. And then last year last year I'm trying to think. My biggest goal was to make podium at state because I was really close to it. Top 9 get podium, I was 12th. So I was really close. So I trained a lot this year of getting to that spot, but it wasn't really my meet. But I definitely after every state meet, I've always set a goal like I want to do this next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Just setting goals, and even if you like don't get there, you still pushed yourself.
That's
a really valuable life lesson too.
Yeah, that was the only goal I didn't make in my entire high school career.
Yeah.
For diving. That was the only goal I didn't make. But after all of the other goals, I was pretty happy about.
Yeah, that's good. What kind of legacy do you hope to leave in your community, and what advice would you give to future divers who want to succeed like you?
So I always told my parents when I came out here with diving that I wanted to leave my mark on the community, and I feel like I have done that. I've just pushed myself to do the best I can. The legacy I want to leave is that I want people to know that they can do the same things that I can do if you push yourself and just do everything that you possibly can to get better. Put the time in. Do club. Do whatever gets you to that next level, because it is about not just physical training, it's mental training too. You have to have that mental training. That's what I did. And I want people to know that it's okay to have that mental training. It's not a weakness. It's not a weakness to ask for help, to write about stuff that is bothering you. That's the legacy I want to leave as a diver, is that not just the physical part of diving, but the mental part of diving. Like, yes, we all struggle with it.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled with it, but you can bounce back from it. Advice I would leave for other divers, there's always this thing that my coach here always says is to think frog. Just don't think. It's kind of been a staple for me since freshman year. It's just like, don't think anything.
Yeah.
Frogs don't really think about anything. They just hop around. So that's always kept me loose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my biggest advice to divers, is to just think frog.
Awesome. What awards and recognition have you received throughout your entire career?
Diving or also gymnastics?
You could go gymnastics too.
Whew. That's a lot. I actually counted up my medals with gymnastics. It was about 58 medals.
Whoa.
Yeah. I've had a lot of medals with diving and gymnastics, but also cheer, I probably around 60 medals. But those, I think my most memorable are my diving ones, because I've had 20 diving medals, and 16 of them have been gold medals.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. But I've pushed myself to get to those. Gymnastics, I have medals from AAU Nationals. I have medals from Taft Invite, Valley. Trying to think. Other invites I've gone to in gymnastics, it's just from other gyms and everything. So, yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So how do you balance how did you balance gymnastics in school, or diving and academics, college classes, any personal responsibilities?
So this I don't have a free time, really. I kind of push myself. I never have free time. I never have downtime. But it just started when I was in gym, because I would go from school 8:25 to I wouldn't get out until like I would get out at 2:10, but my grandma wouldn't pick me up until later. I get a bite to eat, go to practice at 4, and practice at 8 o'clock at night. Get home, shower, do my homework, and get ready for bed, and be in bed by probably 9:30. Did that from the time I was 6 to the time I was 11. So that routine has really stuck with me. Any downtime I got in class, I would do schoolwork. That carried even in high school, especially with college classes, because college classes kick your butt.
Oh, yeah.
They really do.
Oh, yeah.
You have to put in the work and everything, but any downtime I got in class, I would do schoolwork. And I would get home. I always did one thing at a time. Like I would do, okay, let me do English first, then go to math, and then whatever else I got. But it was all about time management. Like I knew when I had to get this thing done, so I would immediately start on it. But that has started from the time I was little, just from gym, because gym, it taught you discipline. So you had to do your stuff. So
yeah. What are some like common misconceptions about diving?
People think that it's easy. They're like, oh, you just jump off a board and you flip. Like it's not that hard.
There's so much that goes into it, though.
Yeah, it is. People, they think it's so easy. I get a lot of people that want to try diving because it looks easy, and my parents are like, you make it look easy. Like you're not helping. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I don't know what you mean. But they think they can do it until they get onto the end of the board and they try to stand backwards on a board and it just starts going like that.
That's scary.
It's a lot. People, the biggest misconception is that people think it's easy, but it is not. It is not easy at all.
My freshman year, I tried to join swim. I joined swim for maybe like 2 weeks because one of my friends was like, you should join. It was terrible. I never swimming ever again. So you're clearly at the state level. I know like really good athletes, they get to like sign for colleges or whatever. Did you get to do that? And who'd you like sign for?
So I actually signed in November 12th, actually. I remember that date. I signed for the University of Wyoming to go dive competitively at the next level. It's a Division I school in Laramie. I signed that in November, and then I just recently, I think last week, we had our like signing night here. I didn't have to really sign anything because I had done it in November, but it was just like a recognition, like, hey, you made it to the next level.
Yeah.
But it took a lot of months. It took summer. I started getting recruited in actually when it opened my sophomore year going into my junior year. That summer, that's when you can start getting recruited. So I was actually committed to West Point. It was the military academy for the Army. I was recruited there. I had actually verbally committed, which it's nothing, like you can go back on it, or it wasn't like written. I was going through the nominations and that, and I realized I was like, I kind of want a life. Like I want to be able to choose my own path and be my own person. So I ended up stepping away from that, and I got recruited from the University of Wyoming to go dive. I took a visit out there, loved it, and they asked me if I would join them, and I did, and we signed in November.
That's great. I'm glad.
That's
great. Getting out of Taft. That's a big step. How does having your parents at your meet support you mentally?
My dad, I like to say that my parents are like two different people at diving. My mom is the one that, she's like my hype woman. Like she gets me going. She's like, gets me going. But my dad, he's my calmer. Like he's the one that if I get nervous in that, I go to him and he's like, I tell him like, hey, what do you have to do for the dive? And I tell him what I have to do, and he's good. Like, he's like, okay, just focus on that. So my dad is my calmer, but my mom is my hype woman.
That's great. So it looks like we're about ready on time. So thank you for joining me for this year's last episode of the Taft Heritage Show. Is there anything else you want to say before we cut the camera, Rylie?
No, just thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming out.
Go Cats!
Go Cats!